Hey guys, how are you doing? Today we wanted to talk about the things that's going on. We have a lot of bills passing. One of the bills that's passed, we know the big bill and the stimulus with Donald Trump has signed, but there is another bill that is for New York State. And today I wanted to explore my top 5 things you should know about Cuomo's moratorium bill for New York State. Number 1, the tenants have to prove hardship. The tenants will basically fill out a document where they will say that they are having hardship from the pandemic. If you are a landlord and you pretty much don't believe them, well, here's what you can do. You can challenge them in court where they will actually have to prove that they are actually having or facing hardships. Now, if they lie, I quote from Cuomo, this is committing fraud. Now, number 2, landlords who owns 10 or less units will have foreclosure protection from banks and taxes. There are so many questions here, like what if you own 5 units at one location and 6 at another location, or 6 units at another location out of state? Will that still be combined? What if you have an LLC? Do you have to say all the properties your LLCs own? But one thing for sure, if you own 11 units at one location, you will definitely not have this protection. Number 3, this bill will prevent evictions till May 1st. The biggest problem with that is taxes and mortgages not the only thing landlords pay. What about the other bills? They will have to pay for such as insurance, repairs, maintenance, utilities, etc. The problem is things cost money. What they should do is develop a voucher program where landlords that are affected by non-paying tenants can receive payments from the government. Now, number 4, the reason they adjusted the tenant eviction in New York is because, well, New York City is kind of getting closer and closer to bankruptcy. And now I guess reality is starting to strike that there's a reason why landlords need to collect the rent, because they also need to turn around and pay the taxes. I guess the basic realities of money and how it works is starting to hit their radar. Number 5, this bill will allow tenants who already went to court within a month of when this bill become in effect to try to prove hardship. Basically, what this means is this: if you have a tenant that you already went to court with, you're already evicted, well, now they can send their disclosure of hardship where the judge will basically stay their eviction. However, you can probably challenge it and then have to ask them to prove that they really faced hardship. I mean, it's a lot more work and a lot more headache and a lot more stress, but you can still prove your point. But if they did have hardship, then they would get to stay. And that's it, guys. My top 5 things you should know about Cuomo's extension of the New York State moratorium. If you are in another state, just know that the CDC moratorium is very familiar. The goal is basically to focus on people who actually had real hardship with COVID-19. Either they had caught COVID-19 and lost their job or couldn't work, or their jobs just had to shut down in order to prevent the spreading of COVID-19. But I do say each state can actually do things a little different or have their own moratorium. So it's best that you do check with your lawyer, call the courthouse, make sure you know exactly how your state is handling or if they even have a moratorium. Especially since these days it seems like everyone thinks they are some kind of king and they pretty much can do whatever they want. Well, guys, thank you very much. Comment below if you have something you want to say. Maybe something, some laws that's in your state, some moratorium from a different place, or maybe you want to add to the New York moratorium, things we should know. So comment below, and don't forget, help me out. Subscribe to this channel. That way we can keep going, and like, share this video. Thank you very much, and let's start a conversation.